Alright, what's up? What's going on, guys? Captain Monk here again. This is my 6th episode in my series called Road to Gold. In this series, I take any primary weapon and I use it from level 1 to level 31, unlocking the gold camouflage. Until I reach the gold camouflage, though, I collect weapon clips with every different attachment, all different proficiencies, and all different camouflages, so I can display them on the screen for you guys, so you can learn about this weapon, and basically how it's effective and where it's not, and just you can see basically everything about it you may want to know. In this episode, we're going to be looking at the M16, as you can tell from the title, and you can tell by just looking at your screen. A couple things you guys should learn about the M16, if you're planning on using this weapon effectively, are the weapon stats. The weapon stats are here, so let's just look over these things right away. First of all, the M16 is unlocked at level 4. It is a 3-round burst weapon, meaning that in between it shoots basically when you tap the trigger, it shoots 3 shots, and then if you tap the trigger again, shoots another 3, and then another 3 for every time you tap the trigger. That's basically how it works, as you can tell just by listening to how the weapon shoots. The magazine size is 30, and its damage is 45 to 25. What that basically means, this weapon is a 3-bullet kill at close range and a 4 at long. But for some reason, the weapon's range is not very good, meaning that the 25 damage comes sooner than it should. So if they're going to patch this weapon, what I would recommend they do is extend the weapon's range for close range damage to make it a bit longer so that it can get 3-bullet kills for a longer distance. That's just my opinion though, but as far as I'm concerned, the weapon kills in 3 to 4 bullets depending on the range. The rounds per minute for this weapon is identical to the M4A1, but the fact is that it is a 3 burst weapon, so it shoots slower. But if it was to be full auto, it would shoot the exact same speed as the M4, which is quite interesting, honestly, because this weapon is considered to be one of the slower firing weapons because it's burst fire. But if it was full auto, it would be a very fast shooting weapon at 780 rounds. Now that's pretty much all the weapon stats I'm pretty sure you guys should know about if you are planning to use the weapon. With this weapon, what I would definitely recommend is a reticle, because its iron sights in this game, at least. In previous games, it wasn't too bad, but in this game, they are very hard to follow. I don't know why it is that they are so difficult, but for some reason, they bounce in a very inconsistent way up and to the right, and it's very difficult to stay on target, so I recommend, by far, using a reticle on this weapon. Holographic is good, red dot is good, any of them are good. ACOG is not too bad, honestly, but I recommend using the red dot, and you'll see when we get to the gameplay that is what I used, was the red dot attachment, because it is the most effective. Now you saw there just a couple minutes ago we had the shotgun attachment. Now this shotgun attachment is very bad. I do not recommend it. Here I'm using the noob tube just so you can see how it looks, not because I honestly like it. And right here, this is a pretty good sight line. If you guys do not know about that, it is a very amazing sight line. But you can see right here, the M16 is very capable of getting 1-burst kills within its range. But right here we get to the gameplay. Now if you look at my class on the edges of the screen, you can see I'm using the M16 with a red dot attachment. Red dot is the way I like to use this weapon, because being accurate with this weapon is the only way to be effective with it, because if you spray and pray, you will not be very effective with it, because accuracy is the #1 importance with this weapon. As far as proficiencies go, I like the focus focus proficiency, not attachment, for a couple reasons. Now, you could use the kick. It's pretty helpful. Kick is pretty much the best all-around proficiency overall on all weapons. But personally, I like the focus, because focus is basically the difference between hitting a burst and not. Because if you're in the middle of an engagement where a guy's shooting at you, if you have focus, your gun will not go crazy, and you will not lose sight of your target. You will be able to stay on target, because what focus does is it reduces view kick. View kick is when someone shoots at you and your screen kind of bounces. So with focus, your screen will not bounce nearly as much, making it easier to stay on target, which is very helpful with a burst fire weapon. As far as my secondary goes, I decided to go with the MP9 because honestly, I don't really know why I chose the MP9. Any secondary is pretty good on this weapon. I don't think there's really a best not submachine. What am I talking about? I don't think it's really a best secondary in this game. They're all fairly good. The only one I would not recommend using is the launcher class, because personally, I do not like launchers. It's just not something I like to use. If you're using sleight of hand, using a launcher is a pretty good idea, but I do not like running sleight of hand. And that brings me up to my perks. I was using scavenger in this game because I wanted to make sure I didn't run out of ammo. With a burst fire weapon, running out of ammo is not really that big of a deal, because you usually will not run out of ammo with a burst fire weapon. But for me, I like to shoot a lot of bullets, and I do tend to run out of ammo. Sorry there, with sleight of hand on. If you're using extended mags, though, using sleight of hand is a very good choice. If you look back at my weapon clips, there was a point where I was using the hybrid sight and extended mags, and with that setup I was using sleight of hand because I wasn't going to run out of ammo, because with extended mags you get 45 bullets in a clip and then 90 extra. So it's a very good setup if you want to use it. Sleight of hand is put extended mags on the weapon so you will not run out of ammo nearly as easily as without. Now for a quick draw, my second tier perk, I decided to go with quick draw because getting on target is very important, and with a faster aim down sight it's very easy to get on target right away. And make sure you get your burst off sooner, because if you get that first burst off before the target, he's going to have no chance. So getting on target first is definitely very important, and then staying on target with focus. That's basically what I recommend with the M16. As far as my third tier perk goes, I decided to go with sit rep. The reason for sit rep is because personally I use a headset, so being able to hear the targets and not have to worry about explosives and other forms of equipment is very, very helpful. But if you're a player who does not have a headset, I recommend something more like steady aim, because with steady aim pro, what it allows you to do is after sprinting, you're able to pretty much bring up your weapon faster. So if you do not use a headset, you can steady aim will kind of compensate for that, allowing you to be ready quicker. Whereas with sit rep, I can be more aware, and when I'm aware, I'm basically ready, if that makes sense. So sit rep is what I recommend for players who have a headset. If you do not, steady aim is good. If you're a player who likes to play search, I'd recommend dead silence, but personally dead silence in this game is not very good. I would not recommend using dead silence unless you're playing something like search and destroy and or free for all. Free for all is also pretty good for using dead silence. What other perks are there? Stalker. Now personally I do not like Stalker on anything besides shotguns or submachine guns. On assault rifles I find it really throws off my aim, so I would not recommend using Stalker. It is not very good. As far as my kill streaks go, I was using the attack helicopter, Reaper, and Pavlo. I set up basically just for getting a lot of kills, because I was trying to get a lot of kills with my kill streaks, because the M16 is not very good in this game. It's probably the worst it's ever been. It was better in Black Ops, because in Black Ops, what they did with the M16 is they basically bumped up its range, like I recommended earlier in the video. Because the gun had 40-30 damage, which is pretty much no different than what it is now. Yes, it's 45-25, but it doesn't make it much of a difference, because it still kills the same amount of bullets. But what Black Ops did right was Black Ops increased its close range damage a lot, so you can get for one burst kills at a longer distance, but not to a ridiculous amount, if that makes sense. Like in Modern Warfare 2, where you had stopping power. Now, in Call of Duty 4 and Modern Warfare 2, there was stopping power for you to use the M16 on, and what that allowed you to do was get consistent one burst kills or 2 bullet kills at close range, which was pretty overpowered, but it was very good if you wanted to use that on the M16. But without stopping power, the M16 is not very good. So like I said, the M16 is the worst it's ever been because of the lack of stopping power and the lack of low range. So they need to at least bump up the range for this weapon for it to be a viable choice. So there's no reason to really use this weapon over the Type 95 as far as I'm concerned, because with the Type 95, it has more range for close range damage, and its damage at close range is 55, which is insane, making it a 2-bullet kill at close range, which is really overpowered and should be reduced to a 3-bullet kill at close range, and they should reduce its range a tad bit. That's just my opinion though, guys. You do not have to agree with me. But anyways, guys, that pretty much wraps up this episode for Road to Gold. If you guys enjoyed the video, make sure to leave a like on the video. It really helps me out. And make sure to favorite it if you really enjoyed it, because all those things help me out a ton. And if you want to see more videos like this, make sure to subscribe to my channel. In the next episode, I will be covering the UMP45. I've already got that gun golden. I've already got a gameplay stored up for you guys, so stay tuned for that. And I'll see you guys next week when I cover the UMP45. Hope you guys have a great day, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.